Hey Snapflash fam! Botswana is stepping onto the global health stage in a big way. President Duma Boko has just been appointed chairperson of the African Leaders Malaria Alliance, a move that places Botswana at the heart of Africa's fight against malaria. So, what does this mean for Botswana and the continent? And how will Boko's leadership shape Africa's battle against one of its deadliest diseases? Let's break it all down. Before we dive in, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Snapflash for all the latest updates on politics, global health, and Africa's biggest developments. Founded in 2009, the African Leaders Malaria Alliance is a coalition of African heads of state working together to eliminate malaria. The alliance has played a huge role in cutting down malaria cases and deaths across Africa through initiatives like universal access to insecticide-treated bed nets, expanding access to rapid diagnostic tests and treatment, strengthening healthcare systems for early case detection, and promoting indoor residual spraying to control mosquito populations. Even though Botswana is considered a low malaria burden country, northern regions like Okavango, Chobe, and Ngamiland still experience seasonal outbreaks. Now, with Boko leading ALMA, Botswana's malaria-fighting strategies could set the standard for the entire continent. President Boko's leadership at ALMA is a major milestone, not just for Botswana, but for Africa as a whole. It's a sign that Botswana is becoming a regional leader in global health, just like it did with HIV/AIDS prevention and universal healthcare coverage. As ALMA chair, President Boko will push for more investment in malaria research, treatment, and prevention, lead policies that strengthen regional collaboration to eradicate the disease, mobilize international funding to keep malaria programs sustainable, leverage Botswana's success in healthcare to drive Africa's malaria elimination strategy. In his acceptance speech, Boko made his stance clear. The fight against malaria is not just a health issue, it's an economic and social one. A malaria-free Africa means stronger economies, healthier children, and a future where preventable diseases no longer hold us back.
I accept the role of ALMA Chair and pledge to build upon the remarkable legacy you and our predecessors have established. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as I step into this role, I am acutely aware of the immense responsibility ahead. The task before us is both challenging and urgent. Our progress has stalled, and the hard truth is that we are not on track. A perfect storm of threats, insufficient resources, climate change, biological risks, and humanitarian crisis threatens to undermine our efforts. The upcoming Global Fund replenishment will determine whether we sustain our progress or fall further behind. The Southern Africa region is bracing for malaria upsurges this year, given the heavy rainfall we are experiencing, creating mosquito breeding sites. The recent decision of the U.S. government to suspend aid has without doubt knocked us even further off track, especially given we did not have sufficient time to prepare ourselves, with life-saving commodities either lying undistributed or with delayed delivery. Securing the resources necessary to combat malaria and fill these critical gaps with renewed energy is imperative. Africa must urgently rise to the challenge by mobilizing domestic resources, including by drawing down on the resources in our emergency funds and increasing our health budget allocations. We must also scale up innovative financing, including through End Malaria Councils and funds, and leverage platforms like World Bank, IDA, and the Green Climate Fund to ensure that our national programs are fully equipped to drive the malaria agenda forward. Our decisions must be guided by strategic data, enabling sub-national tailoring for the implementation of the most impactful intervention packages that address local conditions and maximize utilization. Scorecard tools will be instrumental in strengthening accountability and action across all levels, ensuring our commitments translate into results. We must also fast-track and scale up the deployment of new interventions and commodities. The pipeline of innovations has never been stronger, and with manufacturing happening on our continent, these tools will not only accelerate malaria elimination, but also drive economic growth. In this context, I call on all member states to ratify the African Medicines Agency Treaty. Multi-sectoral action is critical, requiring coordinated efforts across agriculture, education, environment, local government, and infrastructure. We must adopt a holistic approach that integrates malaria elimination with broader priorities like primary health care, pandemic preparedness, gender equity, and climate resilience. Our response must be bold, and it must be decisive. We must change the story and accelerate progress to achieve our catalytic framework to end AIDS, TB, and eliminate malaria in Africa by 2030, with a big push that enhances political commitment and multi-sectoral engagement, scales resource mobilization, ensures that resources are used for maximum impact, and accelerates the introduction of fit-for-purpose tools to fight malaria. The world is watching, and history will judge us by how we respond to this challenge. Let us seize this moment and work together to ensure that malaria elimination becomes a reality for our continent. Zero malaria starts with all of us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
His appointment comes at a critical moment. Africa bears the brunt of malaria globally, accounting for 93% of all malaria cases worldwide and 94% of all malaria-related deaths. And while major progress has been made, challenges like climate change, insecticide resistance, and funding shortages are slowing down malaria elimination efforts. Under Boko's guidance, ALMA is expected to fast-track high-impact initiatives, including rolling out next-generation malaria vaccines across Africa, strengthening private sector partnerships to boost funding, and expanding digital tracking and malaria surveillance systems. Botswana's growing diplomatic and health leadership will now play a major role in shaping Africa's malaria response strategy, ensuring that the continent moves closer to being malaria-free. With President Boko now at the helm of ALMA, Botswana is taking a leadership role in global health like never before. Can Botswana's success in healthcare help the continent wipe out malaria? Will Africa finally break free from malaria dependency on foreign aid? And how will the next malaria vaccine change the game? These are the big questions that will define Boko's leadership at ALMA. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Africa can eliminate malaria in our lifetime? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on Africa's biggest stories. That's it for now. Snap Flash fam, stay tuned, stay informed, and keep questioning everything.